Welcome back, Geometry. It's Mr. Lamb again, and I am on to page 3 of the Unit 1 review. This is going to be questions 9, 10, and 11. So 9, 10, and 11. Number 9 says find the value of M and segment ST. So looking for two different things. Sometimes it might even help kind of circle, but you will see off to the right-hand side, it shows on there exactly what you're looking for. So I don't need that. If point S is between point R and T, and RT is a line segment. So draw a diagram first. You'll notice here is my diagram. All right, so I have RT, and S is somewhere in between. I don't know where it is. Put it wherever you want. Oh, there's S in between R and T. Here's what I do know. It says RS is 13. So I know this value right here is 13. So I'm actually going to move that S over a little bit. It says that RT, this entire distance from R to T, that whole segment is 31. And S to T, the right side, is 7m minus 3. This is segment addition postulate at its finest. Segment addition postulate says that if you have two segments that are joined together, you can add them together to equal the whole segment. So if I take little piece RS, which is 13, and I add little piece ST, which is 7m minus 3, if I add the two small pieces together, it has to equal the big entire piece, which is 31. So the two little pieces add together to equal the big piece. So let's do a little combining like terms. So that's 7m, 13 minus 3 is 10. Subtract 10 on both sides. So 7m is 21. Divide by 7, and you'll see that m is 3. So that's m. m's 3. Then it wants me to find ST. Okay, well, ST, we just said, is 7 times m minus 3. Well, I know what m is. Let's do substitution. 7 times 3 minus 3. Well, 7 times 3 is 21, minus 3 is 18. So ST is 18 units long. Now, I don't know what those units are. It does not say inches or feet or any other unit, so I'll just put the word units on there. There's 18 units. Now, let's jump down here to number 10. Number 10 says the following angles form a linear pair. Right here, this is the big key to this. Linear pair, you need to know that these are supplementary. You need to know that linear pair angles are supplementary. They add up to 180 degrees. So if I were to add these two together, 34 plus x, they have to add together to equal 180. Subtract 34 on both sides, and x is equal to 146. So 146. For part B, it's another linear pair, so it's still supplementary. So 3x minus 1, add 160, add them together, it has to equal 180. Combine like terms, 3x negative 1 and 160 is 159, equals 180. Subtract 159 on both sides. So 3x is 21. Divide by 3, and x is equal to 7. So you should get x to be 7. You can put measurements on there, degrees, but a lot of times when we're just solving for a variable, many times we don't put the unit on a variable unless we're trying to find a distance or an angle measure. So for number 10, part A, 146, part B, 7. Let's jump down here to number 11. It says find the values of x and the indicated unknown angles. Show all steps. That just means show your work. So I have two angles here. I have this angle, which is 87. I don't have the angles next to it, but I do have the angle that's kind of back behind it. which is a special type of angle called its vertical. Those are called vertical angles, and we should know that vertical angles are congruent. They have equal measures. So I'm going to set the two things equal. 7x minus 4 will have to be equal to 87. Add 4 to both sides. 7x is 91. And divide 91 by 7, and you'll get x to be 13. So there's my x. It's 13. All right, and then it says find angle NOQ. So NOQ over here. This is the angle I'm looking for. So don't plug 13 in for x. I have to find this by looking at the linear pair that's made. If you look right here, here's my linear pair. 87 plus this angle that I don't know has to equal 180. So 87 plus the unknown angle, I'm just going to call it angle O. Even though we know, you know what, I don't want to confuse anyone. Let's go 87 plus angle NOQ has to equal 180. Put this down just so we see. Subtract 87 on both sides. And angle NOQ. When I subtract 87 from 180, I get 93. And now we're finding an angle, so now I'll put label on that, 93 degrees. That is 93 degrees. All right, for part B, same thing over here. I have AOB, this big angle is 2x plus 8. I have COD, this big angle down here, which is 4x minus 128. Those are vertical angles again. So just like before, vertical angles are congruent, so I'll set them equal. So 4x minus 128 and 2x plus 8. They are equal. They are congruent angles. They are vertical angles. They are congruent. They are equal. I'll subtract 2x on both sides. Add 128 to both sides. And divide by 2. And I get x to be 68. Again, that's a variable. I'm just going to put a 60. And then I have to find two things. I have to find BOD and AOB. I'm actually going to find AOB first, because there is a variable I can plug into this. So AOB is going to be 2 times my x value, which is 68, plus 8. So 2 times 68, would that be 120 and 16, so 136, plus 8. If I add 136 and 8, I get 144. So that is 144 degrees. That's AOB, 144. Then to find the one that's right next to it, which we call BOD. So here's BOD. That little kind of crazy looking line. That is a linear pair with 144. So that means 144 plus angle BOD, it's a linear pair, has to add up to 180. So subtract 144 from both sides, and 180 minus 144 is 36 degrees. You'll see when I subtract 144, 36 degrees. That's it for page 3. Thanks for joining, and happy studying.